I don't know about you, but healthy food branding used to be absolutely unbearable. A lot of this like beige packaging, really joyless messaging. They had like designs of leaves on there for no reason whatsoever, just to signify health, and an overall energy of moral judgment. And it often felt like the product was almost like disappointed in you personally. Like buying a breakfast bar had somehow become a character assessment and borderline personal attack. And a lot of health brands did not sell breakfast. They sold guilt. Then brands like Root Health came along and shifted the entire health market perspective and the whole mood for that matter. Suddenly health food felt cooler, sharper, more stylish, definitely more alive and less like self-punishment. And I remember the first time I saw Root Health, my dad bought some of their granola and I'd never seen the brand before and neither had he. And they have this really cool logo and to this day they still have that logo. I always associated to like the Rolling Stone logo where it's got like the lips and the tongue. And at the time, like I just thought the branding was so cool, especially when I saw it like on the box. It just really stood out to me. And obviously that's why my dad picked it off the shelf. He literally said, I just thought it looked really cool. And I checked the ingredients and they actually looked amazing. So I decided to buy it. And to this day, he still buys it. He loves it. And that was honestly, that was years and years ago. So there we are. Honestly makes such a difference. But that shift alone within the health space is actually commercially massive. And I say it time and time again. I know I say this, but customers do not just buy what something does or says on the tin. They buy how it makes them feel for choosing it as well. I'm Leonora and this is the Full Fat Marketing Podcast, where you'll hear the uncomfortable strategy truths for F&B brands that most people won't tell you, but I will. Now, if you've never seen Root Health before, they are a UK food and drink brand known for things like plant milks, granola, cereals, oats, and overall like breakfast products. But the interesting part is not necessarily what they sell, it's how they sell it. And let's be honest, most health brands market like a threat. A lot of wellness branding says, fix yourself, improve yourself, redeem yourself through oats. There's always this undertone of, you're currently failing, but luckily we have chia seeds. And yes, health can be motivating. Of course it can. But aspiration and shame are literally not the same thing. Many brands accidentally make healthy living feel really strict, boring, almost like joyless, expensive, and definitely smug. Oh gosh, like it's so pretentious sometimes, which is not exactly an irresistible shopping experience. But Root Health really changed that and flipped it on its head and almost made health and the health market side of things feel desirable. They sold really good choices without the lecture. And the second a product moves from, okay, I should buy this to I actually want this, everything changes at that point. Pricing gets easier, word of mouth gets easier, loyalty and retention gets easier, and desire is lighter than discipline. Always remember that. The brand also had a point of view as well. And sadly, this is where lots of brands disappear. They have a product, but they don't have personality. They've got no edge, they've got no feeling, no recognizable energy, just nutrients in a pouch, and that's it, and Bob's your uncle. And Root Health felt like an actual brand. Even the name has attitude, and it makes you pay attention, right? It's really playful, it's memorable, it's slightly cheeky, and of course, their logo with the tongue, that I said earlier, makes such a strong sort of brand move and really, really calls your attention. It almost sounds like someone made a decision, not like it was generated by a committee trying not to offend LinkedIn. People remember brands that feel like something and almost sound like a bit of them as well. And the key thing is they understood that social value. Now, here's a truth some founders really hate, and they do hate this, and I know so many of you are black and white, but time and time again, I see it and it has been proven. People care what products say about them. And now I've mentioned on the podcast before, I've actually made like case study breakdowns on like Oatly, Joe and the Juice, and Air One in California, just to mention a few, but go back and listen to some of those episodes and try to tell me differently. And the main thing is you don't need to obsess over this, but you do need to worry about it enough for it to matter commercially. What sits on your kitchen shelf, what is in your coffee, what is in your fridge, all of it sends cues about the sort of person that you are. Taste, a certain lifestyle, standards, sometimes even like your budget. Root Health understood that healthy products needed to feel really socially attractive, not just nutritionally correct. So if you're a founder, operator, or marketing manager listening to this, here's the practical takeaway of this episode. If you sell something useful, healthy, sensible, or practical, please do not market it like cough syrup. Nobody dreams of practicality or usefulness. They dream of how life feels. Look at your category. If everyone sounds serious, worthy, nutritionally, almost like depressed, there is room for someone to feel fun. You are not going down a wrong path if you suddenly inject tons of personality into your brand, or you become fun. If everyone is selling this practicality and usefulness, there is room for someone to sell meaning and emotion. And that gap can actually be worth an arm and a leg. Look at Fishwife that I've mentioned already. Picking up a category that's really boring, tin tuna, and making it super desirable and aesthetic and beautiful and a talking point and something that people want to put on like the shelves in their kitchen on display. So it can be worth an absolute fortune. And you've got to ask yourself this: how do we make this product feel wanted? How do we make it feel current? Are we selling benefits or are we building desire? And would anyone be proud to choose us publicly and speak about us publicly through word of mouth? That last question matters more than people would like to admit. People don't just consume products, they consume identity, whether you like it or not. And that's the full fat version. Tomorrow I'm talking about why discounting feels incredible, but slowly wrecks your brand. A toxic relationship many businesses are currently in. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, you can listen to the Full Fat Marketing Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, with new bite-sized episodes releasing daily from Monday to Friday. You can thank me later for that. I'll see you tomorrow.